Hey there, so in this video, my mic is crooked, but I'm going to be testing out the Galaxy A10e's camera and how well that performs to nothing else but itself. Let's see how well it performs. Shoots at 1080, it's I believe an 8 megapixel camera. Gotta look up the specs and relate it to you better, but if you're riding this, let's get down to the boardwalk and take some pictures. So surprise, surprise, the camera app is hard to see in daylight. It's gonna work. Aha. So here's what the camera app looks like. You got photo, you have your switch between camera, gallery, take photo, you have your photo, you have pro, and you have panorama. Now panorama, basic, everybody knows how to do this. And then you have photo, well pro just gives you a ton of different options you can use, like white balance, auto ISO, and then exposure. And then you have video. Now for both photo and video, as you can see, it shows this. This is basically a 2x and 1x zoom. So we're going to be testing out what this 2x and 1x zoom does. So on top of it, you got your flash, timer, resolution I'm assuming, and then filters. And then you have your setting, or stickers really. If you go over here, you have save option, video, both front and rear is 1080p at probably 30 FPS. Here's everything about it. Camera modes, you can change the modes that are on there, shooting method, control the volume key function. So I'm going to turn the volume key to take a photo or video, quick launch, shutter sound, and I said I hate the shutter sound in camera. So let's just get into shooting with this camera. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is take my board, put it over here, because that's what I did for my Pixel. Didn't fully test the same thing, but we're going to shoot a photo. So double tap, opens the photo mode. Now you're not going to be able to see them here, so we're going to have to test them out later on. But I'm taking sideways shots of everything, and apparently it didn't take the regular photo. So I'm definitely going to be showing all these photos later on, but you can't see that, so I'm going to have to just get out of that. Oh, Lord, I do not like the way this works. You swipe down, it should go back. Same thing there. Whatever. What? Does not make sense the way their application's working. But whatever. Let's find something else to take a photo of. I'll take a photo of my mount here. See how much detail that can provide. There we go. There we go. Notice someone left one of these bikes out. get a picture from there. Interested in how this captures color. So spike, green and yellow, whatnot, green and yellow. See how it captures its color. Let's find a new location, shoot something else, put my phone away so I don't drop it. And let's just find something else to shoot here. Something a little less colorful in my landscape at this point. Okay, so my next location is just a bunch of words. Because words can either look really blurry or really good. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take a photo really close up of some words, as you can see. Let me get it over here. Now we're gonna see, do these words look good? Ooh, forgot my thing was there. Do these words make it look good, or are they just trash? Because your wording, well, if you're going to be taking pictures, you're going to want to take pictures of documents. So how does up close fare? And so far, from what I've been seeing, it looks good. We're going to take a look at these photo samples when we get back. So far, it looks fine. I like it. And the camera is surprising me for how cheap the phone is so far. We'll see more about it later, though. But yeah, that's really it. Else. I'm gonna just take a photo like this, see what the blur gets. I'm zoomed in a lot, but we'll see what this blur gets. Maybe it'll close up get something. I'm expecting something not DSLR-y, but so I just discovered I passed balloons a bit before. The clear ones too. So I want to see how this fares with balloons. People sleeping on the boardwalk. Go. This. What I was talking about. A balloon. Fishy, that apparently said happy birthday on it. See how that does. So now I'm just going to use this front-facing camera And I'm going to just do a little segment on this. So this is recording in 1080p at 30 FPS with the teardrop, water drop notch, however you want to call it, teardrop, water drop, whatever. And it looks wonderful so far. Outdoors looks fine. It's not overexposing. It isn't doing anything crazy like that. And it looks like it's keeping my face steady. I'm gonna move my head of my phone around here. And it looks like it's doing a great job at getting this steady shot down. There is no option in the setting to turn on steady shot, but it looks like it's getting decent jobs with the camera itself. We'll see that on later too when we check out the video. Now video here, how does this video fare when I'm riding my skateboard? There we go. Seems steady-ish. Won't really be able to find out until we take it to a computer. But this is all being recorded out of the a10e. It's great. The camera looks great. Too many modes, like I wasn't able to find a slow-mo mode. Time-lapse mode, not the end of the world, but it'd be nice to be able to have one of those modes. And you'll also be able to get a feel of wind resistant compensation, wind noise reduction. So you'll be able to get a sense of that. Let's take some more photos of stuff down here, and we'll get to know more of what it does. And again, 2x crop works only on the rear facing camera. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. I'm a tiny bit shaky here. As you can see, the 2x doesn't really do anything justice with this camera. But if you need 2x, it's here. And what else do you need? So now that we have this all out of the way, let us take a look at all of these photos and videos here. So we're gonna make this into full screen here. I'm gonna pause this. So as you can see, this is what the photo looked like unedited, 1.0 zoom. So we can easily we can zoom in on this photo, but as you can see, there's one little spot that looks washed out, like too bright. The rest of the photo looks washed out. There isn't much colored like depth to it. It sort of goes from the board, which isn't even too bright, to just being the rest of it just bleh. It sort of fades its color a bit, doesn't have accurate colors. Like, the board looks fine, that's what I was trying to get, and that's what it saw. So it got that. I just took the photo, didn't tap the screen, just took the photo. As you can see zoomed in, everything just looks blurry. I do not recommend this. I don't even know why Samsung even has this as an option when it doesn't even look that good. As you can see here, all of the detail that I've had, it blurred it out over here. It blurred it out, it got over here to all of this part of the image, and it made it look good. It looks good, it looks fine. This is a usable shot. This is something usable if you're trying to show off the windscreen. I like this shot.
This one, on the other hand, still shows that same photo, same blur and everything else, except it's blurry. 2x zoom again. Don't use it. You have this Lime bike. Someone just randomly left it. I should have moved it over. Someone just randomly left it. As you can see, the greens are a little bit too dark of a green. This one is as if you took a camera and just with like 5 megapixels, 7 megapixel, 8 megapixel. Yeah, if you took a camera with 8 megapixels and you just zoomed it in. That's all this 2x zoom is actually doing. As you can see, it's supposed to be green and yellow. And if you take it over here, the yellow looks alright. The green, on the other hand, is too dark of a green to be in this. I think it's too dark of a green. In this type of photo, it captured it as too dark of a green. The wheels, on the other hand, I don't know why those are the only ones that showed up brighter than the rest of the color, because I know the whole bike is some sort of a brighter green. The green on this also fades away to a point right around this area where it says Lime E on the bar. It fades away. It sort of looks really bland. And it looks like it's being washed away and like they're losing all its color here. This photo, on the other hand, beach. Captured detail nicely. You can see that guy over here. You can see a guy probably with his butt facing me. You can see the photo looks good. You can make out the waves. You can make out everything. Same thing over here. Again, 2x crop. But these waves now blend into the photo and just look like they're just part of the photo being there from it being cropped in. It looks like it's too cropped in at this point. It doesn't look good. Then you have a random photo that I accidentally took. Surprisingly, these colors, I like them. A little blur over here, but otherwise the colors are good in this photo. This one, leading lines. You can see the lines the whole way down, sort of. This one, again, 2x crop. You can see that there's supposed to be some gravel here. This gravel literally just looks like it's just digital pixels. Just looks like pixels. Doesn't even look like it's been smoothed out over here. You can see it's not smooth. It looks smoother over here. I don't understand that. Leading lines, zoomed in. It's blurry. It captured a weird part of the image that wasn't even supposed to be part of the image. Well, wasn't even supposed to be in focus. I was trying to get this area in focus. You can see the bottom and over here look more in focus. Over here, leading lines in front of it, more in the middle, and the end is not in focus. Well, yes, but more in the middle focus, as you can see. And then this one here. These are the lettering. You can see how well this captured the letters. Nothing looks blurry over here. Nothing looks bad. I actually think for documents, this looks like a great camera for that because of how this one captured the images. When you zoom in to the 2x zoom, it gets a little blurry, but it's not bad. It's nothing horrible. Like, I actually am fine with this. I think it's acceptable for 2x zoom in this one. You see over here, bokeh, not a thing. This was pretty decently up close. Bokeh is not a thing. But over here, I don't even know if I want to call this bokeh, blur, whatever. Because as you can see here, this background part is going to be blurred no matter what. This was behind it. These two poles are behind this fire thing. And I don't even know what to think about this image. There's no blur. There's no blur. Decently up close. Doesn't even capture any blur. Or does like. That's what I was going for with this image. I don't think it captured that blur. And then this one here, just blurry all around. The red though on this image Washed out up here, as you get lower and lower, it gets to be red, but up top it looks a tiny bit pink mixed in with that red. Not a fan of this camera so far. Blurry, 2x zoom, regular zoom, looks okay, just a bunch of leaves. Yellows, greens, everything looks great in this photo. Beach over here, well, sand, not really a beach itself, but sand, don't like it for that. It looks exactly like it would be over here. Its parts washed out. Same with over here. Oh my god, so stupid. And yellow's washed out over here. Lots of this photo is just brighter than it should be. This is capturing. This one's good, but how did this get washed out? Like, zoomed in, it should be able to see a little more of the detail. This was washed out. This was washed out. This is washed out. This is washed out. Going back, this is the only thing that's really washed out. Pure daylight. Otherwise, everything else looks great. This photo, this is actually a good photo. The clouds are pretty detailed. They look great. I think they're great clouds. The houses don't look washed out. Coloring looks almost true to life on this one. And then when you zoom in, you get detail is lost over on top where the gutter thing is. Over here you can see the detail to a point. Up here, it's washed out. I don't understand why that's like that. No detail, barely any detail, looks like just pixels. No detail. The door, same amount of detail, sort of. Not a lot of detail there. You can lose a lot of that, surprisingly. Just lost detail. This over here, I was happy to report. This is a piece of crap image, but both of these shots actually focused on this balloon. That's how it works. For that, it's focused on the balloon. I'm happy to report that part. And then some indoor shots. I just took an indoor shot. Washed out up here. It gets from being washed out to just being blurry. I don't know why. Why does this have to do this? Is it like compensating for something? This is just a blurry image and everything is even worse. This one's like worse than outdoors right now. I'm not understanding this. Indoor shots are crap in this camera. I don't understand this. If we take a gander at these two, this one I already inserted into the camera, into the video, but let me just give some thought on this one. So far, this is actually shaky to a point, but it's actually really good still. Like, stabilization, I like it. I think it's good. Walking with it, still good. I like this camera part as a whole. For video, sort of, it looks decent. As you can see, it's creating some sort of bokeh effect, blur effect in the background. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but as you can see, it's trying to compensate for my face, so the background is washed out. I don't know why, but front-facing cameras are like this, excluding the pixel. It just washes out the screen, the top of it. Yes, Asher, I agree with you. This actually looks steady. From how you move the camera and you were walking with this camera for a little bit, how you move the phone, wow, it actually looks good. It looks steady. Like, I'm not blurring myself out at all. As you can see, I'm not blurry here, not blurry there. There's no motion blur there, no motion blur there. So, motion blur isn't really a thing with this part of it. Like, I'm actually liking that. And this right here, I'm actually liking. This was really, really exposed well for the beginning of this part of the shot. You've already seen this, but the exposure on this is great. I'm not sure what that sound was, but ooh, was that just bad. It only came out of one ear. So I recommend headphones for this segment. If you didn't have headphones in, let's restart it once more and we'll hear what that sounded like coming out of the right earbud. So if you don't hear it coming out of that right earbud, you have your headphones in backwards. And then the left earbud, the left ear, what happened was something was happening to the camera. Like, I wasn't closing anything. I was just cupping it normally. I don't know what happened there. It's shaky. Wind doesn't seem to be too bad of an issue here. Like, it actually feels fine. It sounds fine to me with the wind. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue. Stabilization, though, on a skateboard, no, but probably walking would be a lot better. Stabilization isn't bad, though. Could really be improved. Exposure, as you can see over here on the bottom area where the skateboard is itself, it's white. What are you going to do about that? It's not blasting me in the face with exposure. As you can see, the rest of the image looks great. Exposure here looks great. Motion blurring, there's a little bit of a thing on the corners up in how I move, but it looks great, like exposed well. Nothing wrong with it. But that is just shaky. But that wind isn't actually getting in the way. You can hear my board clanking to the bars over here. Every little tiny bit, there's one of those to connect the sidewalk pieces together. And it sounds great. I can hear the clicking or clacking part of that. I don't really hear the wind. Like, I hear the wind, but it's not overpowering. It's actually sounding decent. I can hear the little noise that comes from riding the board on a pebbly path bit type of thing that's not completely smooth. I was 1000% wrong on that part. It's not steady at all. This is all handheld, and that was really, really bad. Also, look at my face. Does this not have continuous autofocus or something? I wasn't blocking any sound, and apparently now the left earphone is taking all the noise now. Like, why now is the background? Like, why can't we have continuous autofocus? People are going to be shooting themselves. People are going to be shooting other things moving. Why can't we have that continuous autofocus? I'm not understanding why that's not even built into this. If we had that continuous autofocus, it would be able to focus straight on someone's face if they're looking. Like, I don't understand half of this camera. Oh, rolling shutter. So the camera's is getting stuck on rolling shutter. What I want you to watch is I'm going to go right back here. I'm going to want you to watch when I move this camera around. I want you to watch on the opposite side here. I want you to watch these things when it comes up to it. I want you to watch the railings, see the rolling shutter. You'll see that the parts are moving side to side, and they're not staying straight with the image as it's moving. It's actually turning a little sideways. That's what rolling shutter is, and that's the thing that you want to avoid on all cameras that possible if you can get that. Because your cell phone, you're gonna be running, you're gonna be moving. Stuff can be shifting around weirdly. It's not gonna look nice. As you can see, literally just like a second, the shot just shifted sideways a second. These bars, they weren't straight. They didn't look true to life for a second. That was horrible. The front-facing camera was actually decent. Rear-facing camera, try to avoid it. Otherwise, this camera is for 2x zoom. It's a hit or miss, depending on the shot. I don't recommend this if you're going to buy it for the camera. I definitely recommend checking out some other cell phones for sure. If you did like this video, please rate, comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.